Thousands of mail-in ballots here in North Texas were rejected during the March 1st primary because they didn't comply with state law. The numbers come from our 4 largest counties and represent a far larger number than in prior elections. Political reporter Jack Fink compiled the numbers today amid some new criticism. He's joining us live now with more. Jack.
Well, Ken, members of Congress on the Elections Subcommittee held a hearing yesterday on the concerns about mail-in ballots here in Texas, and a variety of organizations didn't pull any punches. The state's new election law attracted national attention once again on Capitol Hill. Representatives from groups such as the Texas Civil Rights Project had harsh words after the Associated Press reported nearly 23,000 mail ballots, or about 13% of all mail ballots, were rejected in 187 of the state's 254 counties during the March 1st primary.
It pains me to say that my colleagues, our partners, and I have observed a severe form of voter suppression and mass disenfranchisement. Stated plainly, the 2022 Texas primary was not a democratic election.
Elections records in Dallas County show more than 11,000 residents voted by mail in the March 1st primary. More than 1,000 of those mail ballots were rejected, or about 9.5%. In Tarrant County, of the more than 11,500 mail ballots cast, 8.2%, or 945 of them, were not accepted. More than 6,000 residents voted by mail in Collin County, and of those, 828, or about 13.7%, were dropped. And in Denton County, of the more than 5,400 mail ballots cast, 900, or 16.7%, were denied.
There are a large number of individuals who were just frustrated with the process. And so what we know is, because of the new law requiring you to turn in your mail-in ballot, that we know these individuals probably and most likely did not vote.
The elections records show hundreds of those voters whose mail ballots were rejected decided to surrender them and instead vote in person. Most ballots were tossed because they didn't comply with the new law, SB 1, because they didn't have the same voter ID information as when they registered to vote. The state law gave voters until March 7th, 6 days after the primary election, to correct mistakes on their mail ballots.
Although Texas Senate Bill 1 also created a process to allow voters to cure the rejection of mail-in ballots and applications, it proved woefully inadequate.
In my mind, SB 1's a voter integrity bill.
Republican State Senator Paul Bettencourt, a co-author of the new election law, recently spoke to CBS News about the issue.
Whenever there's changes in a system, there's always going to take time for people and the election officials to understand how that works.
A spokesman with the Texas Secretary of State's office says more voter education is needed. The office began its campaign February 7th and will continue to develop it before the general election in November. We did reach out to the author of the bill, State Senator Brian Hughes, but we didn't hear back today. Each county must fill out and post online these election reconciliation forms, and we will place them in our story as soon as possible online. Ken?
All right, Jack, thank you very much. We appreciate that.